You stood in the kitchen, humming softly to yourself as you stirred the pot on the stove. The morning was calm, the soft light filtering in through the windows, and the smell of breakfast filled the air. Suddenly, two strong arms wrapped around your waist from behind, making you jump a little before you realized who it was. Good morning, sweetheart, Jungkook whispered in a low, sleepy voice, his lips brushing against your ear. You couldn't help but smile, feeling your heart skip a beat. Good morning, you replied, still stirring the food. Why did you wake up so early? I thought you would still be asleep. Jungkook tightened his hold on you, pulling you closer. I woke up because you weren't there beside me. I was searching for you, and honestly, I missed our morning cuddles, he said, his voice warm and soft. You felt your cheeks heat up. I had to wake up to make breakfast for you. Jungkook, you have a long day ahead, so you need to eat well. He let out a sigh, resting his chin on your shoulder. Then you should have woken me up too. I could have helped, or at least enjoyed the morning with you. You shook your head, smiling to yourself. I didn't want to disturb your sleep, Jungkook. You work so hard, especially at night. You need rest. Jungkook slowly turned you around to face him, his eyes soft and affectionate as he gazed down at you. He leaned in, brushing his lips against yours in a gentle, tender kiss. I love you, Wine, he whispered, and you closed your eyes, feeling a wave of happiness wash over you. But then, out of nowhere, you heard a loud voice calling your name, Wine. You opened your eyes, startled, and saw Jungkook standing a few feet away near the dining table, looking at you with a slight frown. It took you a moment to realize that the beautiful moment was just a dream. Your heart sank as reality settled in. Van, where are you? Jungkook's voice was sharp, and you quickly snapped out of your daze. Oh, I'm sorry, you said, feeling embarrassed. I didn't hear you. I was lost somewhere, you mumbled, avoiding his gaze. You felt silly for daydreaming about something that seemed so far from reality these days. Jungkook didn't seem to notice your unease. I have been calling you for 10 minutes, he said, sounding a bit annoyed. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I'm heading to the office now. I have an important deal today, so I'll be having brunch there. No need to cook for me. You blinked, feeling a pang of disappointment. But Jungkook, I already made breakfast for you. You started to say, but he was already walking towards the door, not waiting to hear the rest of your sentence. Before you could say anything more, he was gone, leaving you alone in the quiet kitchen. You stood there, sighing, feeling a mixture of sadness and frustration. It had been 6 months since the two of you got married, an arranged marriage that had started off surprisingly well. Despite the initial awkwardness, you and Jungkook had grown close. Finding comfort in each other's company, he wasn't the most expressive, but he would always been gentle, respectful, and warm towards you. But for the past month, something had changed. Jungkook had become so busy with work that he barely had time for you. He would leave early in the morning and come back late at night, often exhausted and barely saying a word. The warmth, the attention he used to give you, it all seemed to slipping away. You sat cleaning up the breakfast you had made for him, feeling a small ache in your chest. You missed the little moments, the simple conversation, the times he would hold you close and make you feel loved. These days, it was as if you were just living side by side like strangers in the same house. And it hurt because you had started to fall for him even though you hadn't expected to. You finished cleaning up and sat down at the dining table looking at the empty seat where Jungkook usually sat. The thought of planning a romantic evening together had crossed your mind for days now. You wanted to remind him of the bond you shared, of the warmth and connection that had made this marriage feel so real, so right. After cleaning up the kitchen, you walked over to your desk, opened your laptop, and settled in for the day's work. Designing jewelry was your passion. The way delicate patterns came together to create something beautiful made you feel alive. You preferred freelancing over working for a company, enjoying the freedom to work on your terms and directly with clients who valued your unique touch. Today, though, your focus was slipping. You stared at the intricate design on your screen, trying to decide on the perfect detail for the pendant, but no matter how hard you tried to concentrate, your mind kept wandering back to Jungkook. The disappointment from this morning lingered. You had put in so much effort to prepare breakfast, only for him to rush out the door without a second thought. A sigh escaped your lips. Come on, Wine, focus. You whispered to yourself, trying to shake off the sadness. You clicked through the design's elements, adjusting small details, but you still felt distracted. Suddenly, a small notification popped up in the corner of your screen. A message. You clicked on it and were surprised to see it was from Jungkook. I had breakfast. Don't worry about me and make sure you eat too. Your eyes widened and a smile broke out on your face. This was the first message from him in weeks that wasn't about work or something routine. It was short, simple, but thoughtful. Just knowing he would take in a moment to think about you made your heart flutter a little. Quickly, you typed back. Okay, I have had mine too. You watched as the typing bubble appeared on his side for a brief moment, then his reply popped up. Okay, carry on. I gotta go. It was a short message, but it was enough to lift up your spirits. It felt like a little piece of him had reached out to you even in his busy day. With a renewed sense of happiness, you took a deep breath and looked back at your descent. The pendant's intricate details suddenly seemed much clearer, and ideas flowed through your mind with ease. You grinned to yourself. Alright, back to work. You murmured, feeling the energy surge through you. The small gesture from Jungkook had given you a push, and you wanted to channel that into your design. Your fingers moved swiftly over the keyboard and mouse, adjusting every little detail, making it just perfect. As the hours passed, you felt proud of how much progress you had made. You leaned back in your chair, smiling at the finished design on the screen. It was elegant, delicate, and every part of it felt right. You felt accomplished not only for completing the design but also because the little message from Jungkook had reminded you of how much he meant to you. With a happy sigh, you saved the design and prepared to send it to your client. Your heart felt lighter, hopeful for the evening you had planned. Maybe tonight you could find a way to spend some real quality time together. Jungkook slipped his phone back into his pocket, still smiling across the desk. Jimin raised an eyebrow, leaning forward with a curious grin. Why are you smiling, Jungkook? He asked, genuinely surprised. I have never seen you this relaxed. What's going on? Jungkook chuckled softly. It's because of my wife. Your wife? Jimin's eyes widened with interest. Oh, did she send you one of those funny memes or something? Jungkook shook his head, still smiling. No, it's not that. I was just thinking I'm really lucky to have her. She's amazing. Jimin's eyebrows lifted. Wow, I don't think I have heard you talk about her like that before. So what makes you feel that way today? Jungkook sighed, leaning back in his chair. I haven't talked to her properly in a month. This new project has been taking up all my time. I leave early, come home late, haven't given her any time, but she hasn't complained once, not a single word. She's been so understanding, always supportive. Jimin's expression softened and he nodded thoughtfully. That's special, Jungkook. It's rare to find someone that patient. So, what are you planning to do about it? Jungkook glanced at him with a knowing smile. Well, I'm going to make it up to her. Today it's a big day. We are about to seal the deal. Right? Right? Jimin grinned, clapping Jungkook on the shoulder. We'll finalize everything today. After that, you should take one somewhere special. Jungkook's smile grew even wider, a soft gleam in his eyes. I already planned it. Tonight I'm taking her on a date. She deserves all the happiness and a huge apology from me. I have neglected her, but I know she will understand. She always does. Jimin nodded approvingly, watching Jungkook with a mixture of admiration and respect. She sounds incredible, Jungkook, and you are lucky. You know that. Jungkook chuckled. Trust me, I do. I'm proud of her. I feel proud just being her husband. The shine in his eyes and the warmth in his voice told everything. It was clear how much he cared for you, how much you meant to him. Jimin leaned back, smiling to himself. Such a lovely couple, he murmured under his breath. Jungkook's phone buzzed again, and he glanced at it this time, a reminder about the upcoming meeting. He put it away, still lost in thoughts of you and his plans for the evening. It was early evening, and you were busy changing the pillow covers on the couch, humming softly to yourself, when you suddenly felt strong arms wrapped tightly around you from behind. You froze, blinking in surprise, almost convinced it was just another daydream. Jungkook, you whispered, your heart racing as you turned slightly to look at him over your shoulder. There he was, his face close to yours, his arms wrapped firmly around you. He gave you a soft smile, his eyes filled with a warmth you hadn't seen in weeks. Thank you for being my wife, Ryan, he murmured, his voice tender. You felt a flutter in your chest. What happened? You stammered, still in shock. Is this real? He raised an eyebrow slightly sarcastic. Did you finally remember you have a wife? Jungkook chuckled and you felt his chest tremble softly against your back. He gently loosened his embrace and turned you around to face him. Then, to your absolute surprise, he sank down on one knee, reaching into his blazer pocket and pulling out a single red rose. Wine, he began, looking up at you with sincere eyes. I'm so sorry. This past month I have been so caught up with a big company deal that I completely neglected you as have been a terrible husband and I know it. But I'm here now and I want to make it right. Tears welled up in your eyes, a mix of happiness and relief. His words were sincere, and you could feel his regret. You took the rose from him, your hands trembling slightly as you smiled through your tears. Well, it's good that you finally realized it. You teased softly, wiping a tear from your cheek. Jungkook laughed and stood up, pulling something else from behind his back, a beautiful, elegant dress. Here, he said, handing it to you, wear this tonight. We are going on a date. You blinked, still processing everything. He was serious. You looked down at the dress, then back up at him with a soft smile. Actually, you began looking at him shyly. How about we just stay home? We can cook our favorite food together, watch our favorite movie, and talk. I would like that more than anything. Jungkook's eyes sparkled with amusement, and he bowed, playfully chuckling. As you wish, my princess. You loved feeling your heart swell with happiness. He took your hand and pulled you into a warm hug. For a few minutes, you both just held each other, no words needed. The quiet, gentle embrace spoke louder than anything he could have said. Finally, you both moved into the kitchen side by side, preparing dinner together. The air was filled with laughter and light-hearted teasing as you cooked. Jungkook had taken off his blazer, rolling up his sleeves and looking relaxed and casual. At one point, as he leaned over to taste the sauce you were stirring, you mischievously flicked a bit of flour onto his cheek. He gasped in mock surprise, then retaliated by dabbing flour onto your nose. Oh, is that how it's going to be? You laughed, trying to dodge his playful attacks. Jungkook grinned, leaning in and settling a quick peck on your cheek. You started it. He teased, looking completely carefree. It was a side of him you hadn't seen in a long time, and you couldn't stop smiling. Once dinner was over, you both settled on the couch, cozying up to watch your favorite romantic movie. Jungkook wrapped his arm around your shoulders, pulling you close, and you leaned your head on his chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart. The movie played, but you were more focused on the peaceful warmth between you and Jungkook. It felt like home just being there with him. As a particularly sweet scene came up in the movie, you found yourself smiling, grateful for this quiet moment together. Jungkook gently traced his thumb along your shoulder, a small gesture that made your heart race. He pressed a soft kiss to the top of your head, and you closed your eyes, sharing the feeling. After a while, you excused yourself, gently slipping out of Jungkook's arms. "I'll be right back," you said, giving him a small smile as you headed to the bathroom. You paused for a moment, taking a deep breath as you glanced at yourself in the mirror. The happiness on your face, the softness in your eyes, it was all thanks to him. And in that moment, you realized just how much you loved this man, no matter how busy or distant he got. You're in the bathroom feeling a mix of anticipation and excitement after spending some time thinking about how much you miss Jungkook. The idea of a cozy romantic bath together seemed just right. You called out to him, "Jungkook, can you come here once?" You heard his footsteps approaching. He knocks gently on the door and asks, "Wine, do you want me to enter the bathroom?" You smiled to yourself and replied, "Yes, please." With a twist of the doorknob, Jungkook pushes the door open and his eyes widen in surprise. The glow from the lit candle softly fills the room, and the bathtub is filled with vibrant red rose petals floating on the surface of the warm water. A couple of chill birds are resting on the edge of the tub, and your playful smile greets him as you sit there looking relaxed and inviting. "Wine? What is this?" Jungkook asks, a mix of wonder and delight in his voice. You giggle softly and say, "I missed our late night bath, so I thought this would be a nice surprise." A bright smile spreads across his face as he steps closer. "I like your bold side too," he says, his voice low and warm. You smile at him, your heart fluttering with affection. "Come on, get in," you urge, your eyes sparkling with mischief. Without hesitation, Jungkook began to take off his clothes, and you can't help but admire his confidence. He slips into the tub, the water splashing softly around him as he settles beside you. The warmth of the water envelops both of you, and the sweet scent of roses fills the air. As he sits beside you, Jungkook wraps his arms around your waist, pulling you closer. You can feel the heat radiating from his body, creating a cozy atmosphere. You lean back against his chest, your heart racing at the closeness. "Jungkook, this is nice," he murmurs, resting his chin on top of your head. "I miss this too." "Me too," you reply softly, closing your eyes for a moment, sharing the feeling of security in his embrace. Jungkook's hands slid down to your waist, holding you tightly. He squeezes gently as if reassuring you that he is right there, close and present. You can feel the beat of his heart against your back, steady and calming. He turns his face towards you, brushing a strand of wet hair behind your ear. "You always know how to make me feel special," he says, his voice filled with sincerity. You turn your head to meet his gaze, your heart swelling with love. "Because you are special to me, Jungkook," you whisper. "I wanted to remind you of that." His eyes soften and he leans in closer, his lips brushing against your forehead. "You really do make me smile, Wine." You can't help but blush at his words, your cheeks heating up. You turn slightly to face him, the warmth of the water mingling with the warmth of the moment. "I love you," you say, your voice steady and true. "I love you too," he replies, his gaze unwearying, filled with passion and commitment. With another soft kiss, the romantic bubble of the moment wraps around you like the warm water, making everything feel just right. The night is young, and you both settle into each other, savoring every second of this beautiful night together. Thank you for watching.